Hello, this is Sudhakar Moparthy. Today we're going to talk about Amazon EC2 auto scaling instance lifecycle. So here I have my c1c2 diagram, which is equivalent to whatever they're explaining here in this page. So this is the documentation, scale out, scale in, and how it operates, and then what's the life cycle, how it attaches and detaches, life cycle hooks, etc., etc. So my goal is to simplify this, and when you read that, it should be very easy to understand. So you have a auto scaling group, and that will let me use my invisible pen. Okay, so when it has to when the traffic increases, the auto scaling group launches in instances, and once that instance is brought into life, it is not immediately available in service. Okay, what it will do first, it gets this instance ready, and once it is ready, it will perform some launching actions, custom actions. If this link is there, it will it will do those actions before it launches. Then it makes sure that this is health check is done and everything is good, and it transitions into the completed health check completed state, and then now it puts that in service. And at that point, auto scaling group has the instance. And before it puts into in service, this instance will be connected to attached to load balancer, and then it's in service. So when it is going out, terminating, if this terminating hook is there, so after after terminating, it does it takes those actions, and then it removes it from the in service. It detaches. So basically, these life cycle hooks are while launching, you want to do something, while terminating, just before terminating, you want to do something, you can do these operations. You can take some custom actions. If these links are not there, you don't want to any life cycle hooks. So it simply brings the EC2 instance into existence, does some health checks, and it is good. Then it puts it in service, attaches to the group, uh, okay, before attaching to the group, it makes sure that it is attached to the load balancer, and then it is attached to the group, and which is nothing but putting it into service. So the key thing to observe in this whole thing is EC2 instance comes into life, any number of them based upon the configuration, desired capacity, minimum, maximum, all those checks will be done, and then it'll come into life and does life cycle hooks, and then attaches it to load balancer, and then attaches it to the in service. So these are different states: in service, health check completed, health check is in progress. All those are different states of this instance as it transitioning from one state to another. And then for explanation purposes, I drew those as separate classes in this case. And So when I load this model in skill bank, what will happen is this object comes into life first, and then this object comes into life next, and then this one, and then this one, and then this one finally comes into life. So every time these objects come into life, they get attached to uh, the auto scaling group. And then I can keep track of in skill bank. I can keep track of these instances timestamps. So I'm sure Amazon also keeps track of all these logs, and as it is launching and terminating these things. Okay, that's all it is. I will talk to you in the next video. Okay, so I want to tell one more thing. In the YouTube video, in the description, I'm going to put a link to sign up in Skillbank and an access code uh, for getting access to a EC2 app. Then I load this model into a skill bank, and then you can see some of the things as we model and put some objects with some relevant data. Then you will start seeing this C1C2 diagram matches the model in in skill bank system. So basically I'm teaching the machine about how EC2 auto scaling works, and when you interact with skill bank system you will also learn that. Right now this is one way that I'm speaking, and then I'm drawing these diagrams. But when the model is inside skill bank system, then you can interact with that system, and then you can create these objects and simulate how this whole thing works. Of course, you can go to the console and then observe all these things. But before going to the console, I want you guys to have this theoretical knowledge of understanding of different entities and the relationships. Each of these arrows is what matters. So if you remember what each of these arrows is doing, then we are good about auto scaling lifecycle. All right, that's all for today. Bye bye.